Recording has begun.
Recording has begun. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. My name is Shahzad Hussain and I live at 20 Primary Way in Undercliff. And today it's been 159 days since my brother Talib's been abducted from my care and is being held hostage by the state, particularly Bradford Council in collaboration with West Yorkshire Police and the courts and tribunal services and the judges involved, simply because they're looking to target me and vilify and victimize me because I was looking to expose fraud and corruption, endemic fraud and corruption in adult social care services. But it seems to me that it's not just limited. I've just got a hold of one branch of a tree that's rotten to the core. And obviously, I have just been basically focusing in on the smaller picture of Bradford adult safeguarding and social services in Bradford. However, this is in the context that the corruption is endemic and systemic everywhere, in all aspects of public life, from the courts to the judges to the institutions such as the DWP, the CQC, the ICO, the OPG. Another thing I've noticed is that they are just three-word acronyms. I wonder why governments do that. They're all three-letter acronyms, aren't they? Three-letter acronyms: DWP, CQC, ICO, OPG or GPO or Public Guardianship. Yeah, GPO it was before. Yeah, just all these two-letter. Even in America, you got the NSA, CIA, FBI. Right, just three-letter acronyms as public organizations. Well, let's just focus in here on the UK. No doubt there's endemic and systemic corruptions in the UK, in the USA, but my focus is primarily here in Bradford, or particularly in Bradford, but more importantly in the UK where I am based. And the UK and the USA, UK two-letter acronym, USA three-letter acronym. Yeah, well, there you go again. But you see, what's recently happened is, I think a couple of days ago on Friday. Today is Sunday, the 14th of January 2024, and the time is around about, I think, about 12:30, 10:30 in the evening. And what's recently happened, talking about the two countries, the UK and the USA, is that recently they've just started bombing the Houthis in Yemen, which is very surprising. I mean, I know there's a war going on, or a conflict going on between the Palestinians and the Israelis. And I know the fact that the Houthis in Yemen have been sending missiles all the way up, uh, all the way up to strike in Israel. I think they're the only party that have been attacking Israel. And as a consequence of these people attacking, the Houthi rebels attacking Israel, the US and the UK have now attacked the Houthi rebels. And these guys are very tenacious, aren't they? They're like, we don't care. We're gonna retaliate against you. Quite belligerent and quite belligerent and retaliatory. And you got to hand it to these people. And ordinarily I would think, well, these people are war stricken. They're like poor, going up against two superpowers. Effectively, the UK and the USA are collectively quite a powerful adversary, militarily speaking, because they spend so much money on the military budgets and military funding and aid. So for some people like the Houthi rebels, it just seems on paper, oh, there's another rat. Well, there's just rats running around. Did you see that? Did you see a rat just run around? Crazy. So anyway, as I was saying, it just seems kind of bizarre and crazy to me that where did that rat go? Where did he run off to? Where is he going? I have no idea. It's just the second time I've sat here and seen a rat just run across here. But anyway, they're all rats, especially the rats in the local authority and the rats in the judiciary and the public institutions. But anyway, as I was saying, these Houthi rebels seem like, on paper it seems like, nah, these people are crazy going up against, a military, well-equipped, well-funded military force like the UK force and the American force. And these people are just, what are they? They're like, they're just some rebels, and they just recently got bombed. And but I'm just reminded of the fact that these people, you shouldn't underestimate people that have a cause, because they are quite tenacious. to the fact that look at the Taliban. The Taliban in Afghanistan, they had over 10 or 12, what is it, 20 years of occupation, and by the Americans, and then eventually the Americans turned tail and run away, left them in that limbo state, on where the Taliban have now reoccupied most of Afghanistan, and regained. Basically that was a loss in Afghanistan. It was equally a loss in Vietnam for the Americans, and it's just surprising that no matter how strong, look how Allah has made the world, that no matter how strong one party is against the weak and the vulnerable, Allah must be protecting them. Because how can it be on paper that the world's superpower is attacking one of the most poorest countries, such as Afghanistan, and then eventually leaving in shame as they did, running away from the situation? And so similarly now these Houthi rebels are giving a good run for the money to the, like, they're not backing down, and it just shows you how precarious violence and aggression is. But coming back to my own situation, look at the local authority here. They've like colluded and conspired and kidnapped my brother now for 159 days. Where are the laws that they're meant to be, espousing of human rights and dignities and respecting the sovereignty of the individual? Look how they've treated me. They treated me with disdain and contempt and ill will, simply because of their own systemic failures in order to provide appropriate care services that they are mandated to do. So they've been failing in their own duty of care. I've highlighted this, and as a consequence of me highlighting this, I have now become vilified. And because this is the thing, isn't it? It's like they tell you to, like, let's put your weapons away, put your swords away, put your pistols away, live in peace and harmony, and let's maintain the social order. When the reality is that when it comes to them, they will resort to absolute violence and tyranny. So they're just, silver-tongued, forked-tongued devils, as they say, because they say one thing and then they change their mind. And the situation with the Houthis, what has that got to do with the UK and the USA? All right, they go, oh, this is self-defense because it's affecting the shipping, and that's going to affect our economy. Nobody's dying, all right? There's clearly a conflict there. So you have basically this idea of a preemptive attack is justified in any context. So it's like a preemptive attack, and say, oh well, we were doing it for our own personal safety. Nobody attacked you, all right? They were attacking the Israelis, but then again, they're all in bed with each other. And just similarly, in this case, in my own personal circumstances, I was feeling aggrieved at the local authority, but then everybody else is in bed with the local authority, and they're all colluding and conspiring and closing ranks to target me and my poor brother. My brother's now been 159 days. He has no idea where we are. He's got no access to any kind of legal rights. He's got no access to any kind of like a protection that somebody's advocating on his behalf. He has he can't speak the language, and now he's been held, lawfully detained in this manner, and they're hoping to get away with it. And this is not a repeat of what they did in my mother's case, held her hostage in this house without, with restrictions put in place. So I could not come here, and placing, restrictions on my contact with the people I care for. And those restrictions then eventually within a year, 334 days, mother was dead, murdered off by the state by lethal injection under the guise of providing her with a vaccine. So ended her life. Now once again the same situation is repeating itself. Kidnapped my brother out of my care, not letting me see him, putting a criminal investigation against me for neglect. 6 months later they're investigating a neglect claim made by the council for their own personal benefit, and then as a result of which now also putting in bail conditions that I can't see my brother, otherwise there's a further charges. This is just pure abuse of power and process and procedure, isn't it? And it just shows you that how desperate they are. They're getting very desperate to do these things and attacking the most weak and vulnerable in society, such as my brother, such as myself. And it's just a repetition of what I'm just trying to say is that what's happening to me on an atomic level is happening on a micro level, it's happening on a macro level, it's happening on an international level. And the international level is obviously the recent attacks on the Houthi rebels, but equally, there's been equal attacks upon myself and my family, and it's all related together. So I think I should just leave it there. Today is Sunday the 14th of January 2024, and the time is around about, 20 to 11. And Yes, it's been 158 days, 159 days that my brothers. I don't have no idea whether this person's alive or dead. What kind of treatment that they're giving him without his consent and permission, without my awareness as his guardian and protector and the greatest stakeholder in his welfare. But we'll leave it there. Allah Hafiz. I'm not suicidal. I won't kill myself. And if any harm comes to me, which they're planning now desperately, is going to be as a result of the local authority commissioning my downfall, as they have been doing for over 2 decades. Allah Hafiz.